Hello, my name is Aaron Antis. I'm with Antis Roofing and Waterproofing, and I've been asked by HOA organizers to talk a little bit about maintenance. And so I'm actually going to, if I can here, share my screen and talk a little bit about maintenance with you. So getting ahead, the importance of preventative maintenance, and that's exactly what I was asked to talk about by HOA organizers. So we're going to go through that in some level of detail here. So why do maintenance? It's important to understand in the first place, why even consider doing maintenance. So properly performed maintenance will add years of life to the roofing system. So basically, I'm going to jump towards the end of my presentation or one of the next slides. And basically, we compare it to a car. It's like changing the oil in your car. If you don't change the oil in your car, or if you change the oil in your car with bad oil or low performing oil, then the system that you have in your car, the engine, isn't going to last anywhere near as long as it possibly could if it is maintained and replaced on a regular basis. And that's all the parts and components that go with that, the oil filter and all of that. It's important to understand that lots of communities do nothing with regards to maintenance. And so I am asking you and I'm imploring you as a board and as part of your due diligence to do maintenance, to do something, to gather that information and actually take action to get ahead and take care of your community so you aren't personally held liable. And that goes on to the next bullet: cover yourself in case of multiple leak scenarios. So if you do have leaks going on in your community, or your roofs are getting older, if you are doing maintenance, then you can protect yourself when homeowners come back at you and say, you didn't do anything. Why am I having leaks? I can't believe you guys aren't actually taking care of the roofs. No. We've done roof maintenance, and we did a really good, deep maintenance on the roof to really take care of it and extend the life as much as possible. Unfortunately, you're one of the ones that has had a leak. We're going to go ahead and take care of that for you. Do everything you can to cover yourself. And then if you're in a situation, especially where your roof is getting extremely old and it really is time to be replaced, but you can't because you don't have the money, which is extremely common, let me be clear, maintenance becomes even more important. And we'll talk a little bit more, but there are differences in maintenances, and it's important that you really look through the scopes of work that you're being provided, the proposals that you're being provided, ask clarifying questions, and really understand everything that's going into your roof maintenance. Because if you're getting a low price, there's probably a reason for that. And it makes it a little bit harder for you to basically be able to say to your community that you did everything you possibly could to extend the life before you needed a re-roof, and kind of cover yourself that way. So a very detailed maintenance at the very end of the roof life it becomes even more important. Roof maintenance also allows the roofer to walk basically every square inch of that roof and detect minor problems before they become major issues. Maintenance also minimizes the amount of calls that you get from distressed homeowners. So you're not going to have all of these homeowners calling in frustrated with leaks, and you're having to not only get somebody out there to stop the leak, but you're having to do a permanent repair to stop the leak permanently. And then you're probably having to pay for interior damages if that's what's in your CC&Rs. And that just becomes extremely costly when the source of that leak might have been from a $3 tile that needed to be replaced and a little bit of underlayment that could have been taken care of. So with the maintenance, we want you to avoid the cost of those high roof repairs now by getting ahead of it and spending some money that doesn't, seem maybe necessarily a good reason why at the beginning. But then if you were to have not done it, then the rains came and all of a sudden you have dozens and dozens of leaks, then the maintenance becomes a lot more justifiable at that point. And then also the reason for doing maintenance is because you avoid the high cost of roof replacement later. And what I mean by that is a little bit of water coming in, maybe undetected or likely undetected, not actually causing a leak, as in it gets absorbed by the insulation, or it just runs a little bit down the wood, down the joist, down the beams, down any part of the wood framing, and all of a sudden it's rotting it out. and you don't know that that's happening. And so when it comes up time for replacement, all of a sudden you have massive change orders. Instead of a 10 or 15% average replacement, you're looking at 30, 40, 50% of the cost of roof replacement all of a sudden being thrown into structural damage issues. And so that's what we're trying to avoid when we're doing maintenance. And again, the reason why an aggressive regular maintenance is important. So we talked a little bit about this. Really understand the scope of the work, what is being detailed. Do you understand it? Are there any ways that shortcuts could be taken in that, as in, hey, we're going to seal pipes. Well, how are you going to seal pipes? What are you going to seal pipes with? Are you going to coat that? Are you going to reinforce that? Are you going to scrape the old material off? All of that stuff goes into the cost and also the longevity of that roofing system. And every nail matters. So every bit of, and that's a phrase we have in our company, every bit of maintenance work that goes into it, every detail is extremely important to the longevity of that system. A leak at these pipes in this picture right here at the top, coming in a little bit of water and then running down your roofing system slowly over time, rotting it out, routing out the underlayment, can cause a massive thousands and tens of thousands of dollars worth of a leak that could have been prevented by doing a couple of dollars worth of maintenance on an annual basis in that area. And you can read, what is required when you want to request proposals. I recommend that you meet your contractors, you have discussions about it, you have a deep understanding of exactly what they're going to be doing. And I know that takes time, but that time, a little bit of time and a little bit of money early on will save you a ton of time and a ton of pain and a ton of money in the long run. So please put in the time at the beginning, get to know your roofing contractor through and through, in and out, every detail if at all possible. Roof maintenance should also be done on an annual basis. Very rarely is there a community that can do it every couple of years, or we would recommend that they do it every couple of years. If you have a tile or a flat roof system, we recommend that must be done annually. Some communities, if they're along a golf course, at least those sections that are right along the golf course should be done probably more than once a year, because the amount of broken tiles or penetrations or whatever might come from those flying golf balls occur, and you need to protect your roof. It's also important to understand that just because you asked for roof proposals and you reviewed maintenances, but you did nothing, that is not doing your due diligence. That is not doing what is recommended in the roofing industry by the NRCA, which is the governing body of roofing in the nation and actually internationally. And so it is very important that you not only solicit bids, but you actually do something, because the proposals you'll often see in there's photos that will show exactly what needs to be done. And if you're not doing something, you are basically admitting that you neglected to take care of the roofs. And so we implore you to do maintenance as regularly as possible. When is the best time to do maintenance? That is anywhere from July to December. If you have a lot of tree growth, then pushing it towards the latter end of that time frame is really important, so that the leaves have fallen down and can be collected at the same time as the roof maintenance is being done. But sometimes getting it done in July or August is great as well, because you beat the rush. You might be able to get a price break as part of that. And that goes to that second bullet about the off months. So being able to do it a little bit sooner sometimes is great as well. And if you don't do maintenance, kind of like what we talked about before, get leaks, you get all these costs with temporary repairs, tarping, and then the permanent repairs. You get angry homeowners, they're frustrated, they're questioning what you're actually doing on the board, what the decisions you're making. So that causes you a lot more pain. You have costly roof repairs, costly interior repairs. You have to figure out, does the HOA cover this or does the homeowner cover that? And then all the calls, emails, everything that your manager gets slugged through, and they can't work actually proactively for you and your community anymore. They're working reactively, trying to chase things around and make sure it's actually being taken care of. And then dry rot and structural damage as well as a concern. So I'm going to quickly plow through these. These are some of the things that you should see in your maintenance scopes. A lot of it is ignored in scopes. And so make sure that every little leak prone area is actually included in your maintenance scope. So plumbing pipes, what work is actually going to be done on that, not just sealing it up, that's a totally gray area, but how are you going to actually do that? Roof jacks, flashings, slipped tiles, broken tiles, open Z-bar flashings. A lot of these things, again, look tiny, don't seem like they're going to be an issue, but can actually cause some serious damage long term. Coping metal joints, the terminations, transitions at the ends or at the edges of your roofing system. Wood fascia and trim doesn't seem like much, but that can actually cause leaking and cause a problem for you. Satellite dish penetrations, the dish mounts that are left behind. Some of these things you won't even know, you won't even see that they're actually there unless a roof maintenance inspection is completed. And then all of this is to avoid things like this that we see. These are our actual pictures. And you can see just the kinds of leaks that occur around electrical units. And we haven't seen anything, an electrical fire in the hundreds of thousands of leaks that we've solved. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't scare the homeowners. And all of a sudden you have an irate and scared homeowner as well calling in. Also along that flat roof on the left-hand picture right there. I mean, that is massive ponding. We've seen little bullet holes in 3-story buildings. A little hole like that with all that water up there coming in consistently causes massive flooding through 3 stories. And so if you have a flat roof, especially if it's multi-story, you need to be doing maintenance every single year, bar none. Do not even ask the question. You will otherwise have some very likely serious issues if you don't. And then avoiding doing tarping middle of the night, the cost to do that. I mean, it's a lot to get somebody out there in the middle of the night to take care of that, to take the risk on in the middle of the rain, which we do, but it's a lot less costly than actually waiting it out often and having to pay the extra damages that occur from the restoration. And you're avoiding the costly permanent repairs, large areas being open because now there's a leak, whereas, it might have started from a plumbing pipe, but it's been running down the roof for months, years, and causing damage. And so now we need to tear up a big area. And then interior repairs that you're getting as a result of that as well. Gutter downspout roof cleaning is important. That's part of maintenance. Make sure to clarify that you want both maintenance and roof gutter downspout cleaning. You can see here that this debris causes massive damming, ponding water, and doesn't allow the water to get off the roof, which standing water, that's a ton of weight, a ton of problems that you're likely going to have. And that should be done with the maintenance, if at all possible, after the tree trimming. With the maintenance saves time, saves money. And then just depending on the amount of tree growth, you're at least doing that annually. A lot of communities might do sectional gutter downspout roof cleaning as well, just to make sure to not have any issues throughout the year. And then, of course, your any kind of weather damages, wind or trees falling on the roof or hail, if we get that occasionally, that can cause some serious issues. So pitch on Antis, why Antis for maintenance? You'll see it in our specification. It's unmatched. It's bulletproof, as we like to say, very detailed. We have superior customer service. We have, of course, like everybody else, probably accessible foremen and supervisors, but we have 4 to 6 times the office staff. So this especially comes into play during the rains. And we photo document everything. Every nail matters. Every little detail matters. If I can't prove that I did something, then I'm going to own it. If there's any kind of an issue. And then we have 24-hour emergency response. You get a live Antis rep. You don't get an after hours service as part of that. And then we've only serviced homeowners associations for 31 years. We know how to deal with all the nuances of HOAs. And then, of course, we'll flyer the community. We're very communicative. If there's ever an issue, you can reach out. We're happy to take care of that. We can customize these flyers with you. And with that, I'll end. Appreciate the opportunity to present, and we look forward to you using us here at Antis Roofing and Waterproofing for your maintenance needs. Happy to come on site and help you in any way that we can. Thank you.